Sucking dicks when you are young is no fun. Singing songs about some dongs from when you were young is no fun. Childhood trauma. Childhood trauma. Childhood trauma. Overexposed to some hoes from when you were young is no fun. Childhood trauma. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another So-So production. Boys and girls, we've made it. It is Monday, November the 1st, 2021. Baby boy, baby girl, we're back. It's the beginning of the month. It's the beginning of the week. It's November. Christmas is around the corner. We can feel it, baby. It's right there. We're going to get into it. A lot to talk about. Wrote down a few things. Gonna freestyle a few things. Let's start reading a little bit and then we'll just go loosey-goosey as per usual. Hope you guys like this. Hope you guys jive with it. If you like these videos, hit those like buttons on Instagram. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Go ahead and search Rob Sadri on the YouTubes. Subscribe so you get the full-length videos. If you want to get a little bit fiscal action going on, go to Patreon and we'll get it going, baby. Let's see what we wrote down. Run out of pages on my notebook, man. Got a couple of more pages left. Been trying to write on the old laptop, but it's something else when you write on paper. I gotta go get me a couple of new notebooks. But it's nice, I feel good. Finishing a notebook, ready for a new notebook, baby. Never been a quitter, cause a scene slicker, indoor shoe slipper, that's a big dipper. Wanna be with her, settle down, simmer, shiny locks glitter, she's a big sitter. Calling friends trimmer, what? Straight out of Toronto, baby, doing it. Tickling your membranes, trying to. All right. Let's see, random things that I wrote down, gonna go through them, and then we'll get into a story that I'd like to share with everybody today. All right, things that I wrote down. If eye bags are real, how come everyone is still using variants of satchels for their goods and services? Why don't you use your eye bags? I want to see more motorcycle couples kissing, let go, enjoy the moment, face each other. I've not seen too many motorcycle couples kissing. Do it, turn around, because I'll see it a couple of times here and there. You'll see a couple driving in the car, a little peck on the cheek here, a little peck on the cheek there, little, don't be going too crazy. Don't want to be giving a full service or nothing, but same thing with the motorcycle couples. Go ahead, turn around, give yourself that me time that you so often need, and traffic's just the best time to give yourself that together time. Turn around, let go of the wheel, see what happens. All right, privilege versus disadvantage of all races, a topic that may be of interest that we'll kind of get into. Perils of the moral society, another topic that we might get into one way or another. Ever wonder why your ears are shaped the way they are? Some say it was designed for optimal hearing. Others say our hunter-gatherer ancestors used it to carry peanuts in them. Legit, look into it. Everything's about scaling these days. Yes, it's good, but how will you scale it? Well, you better learn how to reptilian jiu-jitsu that bad boy. Start peeling, baby. You gotta shed some skin to gain new skin. Word up. I'm entering my Jesus years. That's right, I'm entering my Jesus years. I'm officially, as of midnight tonight, going into the 32, baby. Gonna be litty. We got another year to, grow out the hair. Start turning some H2O into some weed. You feeling me? Walk on water a little bit. We're getting there. The pressure is on. Pressure is on. Trying to tackle as much as I can. All right, we're starting with the hair, grow it out, see how long it can get. And now, we'll start diluting some liquids, baby. You never know what happens. Like things will happen. All right, good stuff, good stuff. Why don't we have ring men at UFC or boxing events? Yeah, why don't we have ring men at UFC or boxing events? Just a dude in baggy shorts with his fingers in the air between the rounds. Round number one, fellas. It's round number one. Round number one, fellas. Round number two, deuces. Round number two, just dudes in baggy shorts. Just saying. Equality, baby. More Rain Man. You know what I'm saying? Just a sweaty old Rain Man, just fucking holding up a sign, holding up all the fingers, dude. Round number 5.5. And that's half, baby. 5.5. Do it. That's just some of the stuff. And then here's the thing, man. The writing stuff, I like sometimes, this is like a little notebook it's a journal for a little bit of the jokes, a little bit of the personal journaling that I do on a regular. But I'm glad I'm running out of space, which means I've been writing. That's a good thing. That's a win. That's a W. Man, oh man, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope you guys have had a great Halloween. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Gotta just take it easy out there. Take the good with the bad. Take the good with the bad. Take the negatives, turn it into positives, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I've been contemplating a lot because, like I said, I'm entering my Jesus years now. The pressure is on to start levitating. All right, pressure is on, dude. Gotta get in touch with your higher self. Almost had a mishap. Ooh, but it's got a cap on. I've been here before, dude. I'll tip you over. Don't make me do it. But you know what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that I've been, thinking over the weekend, and I've been setting new goals. Some old goals, or we're carrying on some old goals, but writing down some new goals. And it's important that we all have goals. You got to be a little bit ambitious out there, baby. You got to set goals. You got to write them down. You got to put a little criteria so that you can meet these bad boys and then cross them off. Same with the bad gals out there. Write it, cross it. Write it, cross it. That's how you know you're succeeding, baby. Little by little, one step at a time, doing it. Now, I'm no expert at making lists or but it works. It works. Little by little, it works. And I'm just trying to practice that and enjoy the process as well. Childhood trauma. Deal with it, face it, deal with it, everything. But what I'm trying to say is that it's important that you have goals, and I've always been this way for quite some time now, but I'm just trying to amp it up a little bit just because, like I said, the pressure is on, baby. 32 is getting a little bit older, but still feel like a young kid inside, dude. Feel like I'm still, fucking Energizer Bunny, this guy. I'll go all day, every day, baby. All day, every day. But it's good to have goals. It's good to reach those goals. And it's also good it's just nice to write them down because you see it on paper. You've thought about it. It takes, and then thoughts form into action on paper. And then you look at that paper and you're like, I got to act upon this thing. So the pressure is, it's good to have that so you can reflect. I'm just, trying to commit to that every day. I got different goals. I got a set of goals that are just my financial goals on a daily. Do you have a daily financial goal that you got to meet every day? You should. You should, baby, because who else is going to do it for you? Nobody. Write down, for me, that's how I operate. Every day I got to make this much. Actually, and then there's some things on the list that I won't even, working out every day in the morning, 10 to 15 minutes. It's a must. It's now ingrained into my innate self, dude. I just get up and so I just roll off the bed exercising, bro. I sometimes don't even wake up, dude. I'll be dreaming and all those push-ups. Dream mode push-ups, baby. That's that, you take it to levels, baby. It's different states. So, and then I gotta write certain amounts. I gotta focus a little bit on the jokes, a little bit of the, you gotta have those internal dialogues. Conversations, but it's important that you have goals. Everybody should have goals. Everybody should strive to do better. That's what I'm telling myself, and I encourage everybody else out there to do it as well. Don't ever give up on yourself, no matter how old you are, how young you are, how confused you may be about your circumstances or your situation. Don't matter, son. Go get it out there. Go get it out there, whatever it is. I'm in full support, man. Whether you're in the arts, whether you're into the crafts, whether you're into the farts, or whether you want to be a mechanic, you want to be a doctor, you want to be an optometrist, you want to be a lawyer, you want to get into, you want to be hell, man, you might want to step into the underworld. You might want to, kidnap a couple of cats. Maybe that's your life goal. Don't do it, but do you, boo. I'm not judging, but also leave the cats be, dude. Maybe I'm a little bit judging. I'm judging if you're napping up cats, dude. I'm judging, dude. But still, it's good to have goals. At least have something going on for you. That's what I'm trying to do, man. But in in my day job, in my day work, in my, the thing that gets me that cheese right now so that I can keep the operation going, and hopefully in a few months, I'm looking forward to this spring coming. We can make some concrete changes. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. It's a little bit filled with excitement. I like to use that word instead of anxiety. It's filled with excitement, and I'm just looking forward to it. I'm trying to embrace everything one step at a time, be one with myself, my body, my mind, my spirit, my surroundings, be open to everything, say yes as much as possible until you gotta say no, also say no. But, you gotta have that balance. But what I want to talk to you guys about today, briefly, if I may, sometimes in my, in my day job, that we've gone into it a little bit. We've gone into it a little bit. On that, in my day job, I'm that male doula baby, delivering the most important commodities out there. You might even call them humans at times. These commodities, these figures, these beautiful people. But I'll be dealing with a lot of people on a daily, dude. I've seen, and I've always been like, I've always dealt with people doing different jobs, whatever it was. I've always been really into wanting to help people and like do something. This is why I've stepped into wanting to familiarize myself with storytelling, with working on comedy, with hoping to one day get up on the stage in front of 2 people, 3 people. Fuck, I'll go with even half a person. Do you show up with just your lower torso? If you're willing to sit down and listen, bucko, let's get it on. It's a show. That's what I'm talking about. But point is that I've always had this, I guess if I were to like look at myself, and this is not, just getting to know yourself after a certain age, or, after a little bit of time spending with the self, you get to know about your qualities, about your strengths, about your weaknesses, hopefully, so you can work on them and make them better. One of my strengths, if I can say it, and I'm kind of proud of this, it's been with me since I was a kid, dude. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I make a hell of a great listener. I'm not saying it, others have said it. But I take pride in it because I practice it and I enjoy it. I like listening to people's stories. I learn from people. I don't ever go in there with any judgment. And the reason why I say it's a gift, because this is not something that I even like initiate on my own. This happens quite often in different realms, and different work. People like to open up to me, which is nice. It's been when I was a little bit younger, thought it was, and I'm an emotional dude, right? I take in a lot. I actually like feel what you say to me, whatever you're sharing, whether it's positive, negative, or in between. I take it all, and I really try to envision myself in your shoes or in your body or your circumstances as much as I can. Try to, let go of myself, put myself in your position, and really just try to be like, and I'm not gonna get it completely because that's not happening, but I really try to, I make an effort into wanting to understand. I've always done that since I was a little kid, and I loved it, man. One of the first few people that used me as, I guess, not used me in that sense, but like used me in my grandma. She used to tell me stories. I used to love listening to my grandma tell me stories, but also I was kind of like a little counselor to my grandma when I was a little kid, because, if we want to, for those of you who've been with me since the beginning, you know what it is. For those of you who don't know, we'll give you a little bit of refresher. My background, I don't like to talk too much about it because I don't like to ever lean onto anything too much or at all. But my ethnicity, my background, if we want to narrow it down, you might say your boy's background's the Iranian background, Iranian Canadian. Born in the Iran, moved to the Canadas in '99 with my fam. So that's what it is. But 9 years of my life was spent in the Iran, and the Iran's not the nicest, safest place. Beautiful people, but it's not a safe environment. A lot of nonsense, I'm sure you guys are aware of. A lot of totalitarian mandates, a lot of dogmatic ways of thinking, a lot of just backwardness to it all. A lot of just, I know better, and I'm going to make sure everybody else follows my way. That sort of, it's a dictatorship. That's what it is. It's a cult of personality dictatorship is what it is. Why are we talking about these things? We're talking about these things, and it's related to an interaction that I had today, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit rebriefer, a little bit of a refresher, if you will, so that you can, things will make sense as I go on. As a young man, as a young little baby man boy, I used to listen to my grandma. She used to talk to me all the time. I was her. She talked to me. She told me about everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything. And in Iran, a lot of the talks, you can't just, whatever kind of talk goes on in the household, you cannot carry that conversation out into the public. And there's always, that's very, it's a part of the Iranian culture. I'm not too sure how many people are aware of it, but there is that. It gets ingrained in you, because that's the thing. If you speak your free mind outside, there are consequences. You can't just go out there and be yourself. And that's due to just many different reasons. But what I'm trying to say is that I've always enjoyed listening to people. I've always been there for people, and I like to continue to be able to do that as much as I can. Now, growing up, moving to Canada, having to, make new friends, be a part of a new community, listen to new stories, hear about different people's stories, really get exposure. That's what it's opened my eye to a lot, but there's still a lot that we need to work on. And today, early in the day, when I was doing my day work and my day job, I encountered a young man who's actually, he's not the youngest of men, but he's up there with the most of them. He's young. We interacted for a few minutes, for roughly about 20 minutes, and he ended up being the same age as I am, 32 years old. Very cool. But, immediately upon coming face to face with each other, he starts to get into his life story with me. And I'm there. If anybody wants to share, I'm there. No judgments. I appreciate what I've been able to, be exposed to, and I hope that I was of a little bit of a comfort for this young dude, not middle age, young, not so young man, I hope I was a friend for a few minutes, and I hope that this video maybe, I don't know, I want to be making jokes, dude. I want to work through jokes and making fun of myself, making fun of my personal hypocritical moments that I might have, and some of our societal hypocritical moments. The sun is coming and it's hitting me right in the eye. We're definitely filming at a little bit later portion of the day, so normally the schedule's shifting, baby. The schedule's shifting. We'd normally shoot in the mornings, but now we need to switch it up, and I'm probably going to be filming most often from now on for a little while, at least in the afternoon, maybe even a little bit later towards the evening. We'll see how it goes. Learning, moving, adjusting accordingly. But point is that this young man just, started to share his life story with me, and I'm not going to give away his identity or anything. That, will, that's intact, that's safe, no issues there, but I will share you the story that he shared with me, and I hope that this gets talked about more, because I think it's an important issue. And one of the many things that I said from the get-go that I'll try to do, and again, I'm just hoping that I can be of service to myself and my community, and if I can, one way or another, maybe be one of the many, 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 many great voices out there. I'm not saying I'm great, I'm just saying a voice. If I can be a voice and talk about some of the concerns and issues that are, that we're all involved in, then I'll think I'll be able to sleep at night feeling a little bit good about myself. Anyways, enough about me. Let's get into this gentleman's story. What did he share with me? Let's just, for the sake of the story, bear with me a few seconds. I'm gonna have to get my glasses, because this situation with the sun is just having to resort to squinting a lot. Bear with me a few seconds. All right. Sorry about that. There we go. Let's just call him, just for the sake of the story, let's call this young man Mohammed. All right, Mohammed's from a Somalian background, 32 years of age. We start talking, and immediately, without missing a beat, he starts getting into his life story. He just opened up to me immediately, and he said that he's been, the night before, Mo was outdoors doing some outdoor activity. He was feeling a little bit down on himself, not feeling all that great, and he did a little bit of blow. I'm not judging. I've not ever done cocaine. I'm not interested. It's not but I'm not judging. That's just out the door. But he wanted to, and he smelled of alcohol, so he was just really like just opening up. He's like, man, I've had a bad night. I did coke after not doing coke for about 8 months. And he starts getting into it. He starts getting into it immediately and without skipping a beat. He's like, yeah, I'm 32, Somalian. Like, he was just telling me about his background, Muslim. And he was telling me that his father had found out that he was gay. And he wasn't too pleased. His mother knew. His brothers had found out. And he was just going through it, man. He was, he ended up crying during this period, which just, I'm a big crier myself, dude. I feel like if you pull on these heartstrings, dude, I'll get going, baby. Waterworks. So he starts telling me this story about how he's recently had to deal with this, how he wished he could have dealt with it when he was 19 or 18, like a lot of other people who might even deal with it even a little bit earlier. But he was just very upset. He was crying. He was coming in and out of crying, trying to and he was a nice dude. He was a really nice dude. And he's like, I'm sorry I'm sharing all this with you. I've never even I don't share. And I'm like, dude, if you want to share as much as you like. If you don't want to share, I completely understand. And that's all there is to it. But he kept on going about, how he wants to just be himself, but he can't really be himself, that his father's kind of disappointed, but his mother knows, and she loves him. Like, what about your brothers? What about your siblings? And his words, he's like, one of my brothers passed away recently. He got shot in Edmonton. This kid's going through it. This kid's clearly going through a lot of just, emotional, mental, a lot of stress. And he's just feeling like, he told me he's feeling drained. That's what he said, his words. He said, I feel drained. Smart kid. He went to university. Actually, he mentioned the name of the university. We happen to go to the same university. And that's what it was, man. We both had gone to York. And he's just not feeling good about it. He came in the car and we got to talking, and he's just like telling me about how he's a failure at life. And he's just like, he's being really harsh on himself. And I'm like, why are you saying these things? He's bringing up examples. He's like, well, one of my older brothers, he's got a wife, he's got kids, he's got a car, he's got a condo. My other sister's got a husband, kids, car, condo, the whole, the whole square box sort of thing deal going on. And his point of view on his own self-reflection, I guess he thought that he was a failure because he was not able to do those quote-unquote normal things. And I'm listening to him and I'm just like reassuring him. I'm like, dude, you're completely normal. If you want to be with another guy, that's completely fine. And he's like, yeah, most of my family members are very supportive. Even his brother, one of his brothers that passed away in Edmonton had asked him before, is like, are you, and he used the word maggot, and he's like, are you a maggot? And he said yes. And he's like, I still love you, maggot, his words. And I just felt for this kid because keep calling me a kid because that's kind of how I feel in terms of like, you're growing up, but you're still, timelines are stretching. 20's the new 10, 30's the new, whatever it is. Point is, he's a young man in distress, and my heart went out, man. And I just try to reassure him. I'm like, you're not a failure. You can do whatever you want. He's like, I want to have kids. I'm like, you can still have kids, right? But his biggest concern was not being able to fit into his community, his Muslim community. He said he's not feeling accepted. He feels like a lot of his friends have just stopped being friends with him. And my heart went out, man, because I was just telling him, I'm like, what, if you believe in God, if you believe in Islam, practice whatever you want to practice, but also be true to who you are. If you're gay, you're gay. It's natural. You're born that way. It's out of your hands, and you should just love yourself. And I'm pretty sure God would want you to love yourself and would want you to love others. Any messages that you hear coming from anybody else, whether it's a religious figure in your community, whether it's some elderly individuals in the family unit, whatever it may be, if you're hearing these negative, I think this is the thing that I wanted to share with you guys. And today's episode, I'm sorry that it's not like the funniest of the funnies, but it is what it is, man. Sometimes you got to deal with these issues, and so be it. If we're not getting laughs today, so be it, whatevs. Point is that the Muslim community needs to step it up. I'm hoping that you guys change your mind, your way of thinking on a lot of things, and become more tolerant and accepting of your community members. Because here's this young man who, in his most vulnerable time of his life, he's finding himself being isolated, made fun of, feeling less of a human, wanting to, he's saying he wants to not be, he's like, I don't like gay people, I don't want to be gay, I feel cursed, he said. And it's just like, it's so painful to hear that as somebody who's dealt with, I've dealt with a little bit of childhood trauma, and he shared a little bit of his story and his life, and it just like I bonded with him over a few different things. But point being is that you need to face everything head on, and that's what I've tried to do and continue to try to do. Face things head on. Don't give anything too much extra attention. Like, don't amp it up and always be dwelling on the past, but also face things, don't hide them, and move forward. So, for me, this experience, it's helped me a lot because I've been able to, kind of like free myself of the thoughts that were in my head that I hadn't, the experiences that I had encountered. A little bit of a, how to deal with a little bit of a diddler situation when I was a kid. Again, for those of you guys who know, Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all the, thank you. And if you don't know, now you know, if you're a newbie. But luckily for me, it wasn't an extreme case of something that I wasn't able to recover from, something that I wasn't able to face. Again, people's traumas vary to such a large degree. I feel very blessed and lucky that I can like verbalize these things, that I'm okay with it, that I don't find myself responsible for anything that had happened. But point is that this young man is now telling me about how he used to, sharing a lot in 20 minutes, sharing a lot, how he used to get beat by one of the family members who used to babysit him. They're still in contact. He loves her. It was a she. And it's just like, you can tell this person's been through a lot, for a person who's kind of like, reeking like alcohol. And according to his claim, he was doing blow the night before. He's very clear for the most part. He was being just honest. I think he just had a moment where he needed somebody to like pour his heart out to, and I just happened to be there. So I hope I was a little bit of assistance. But at the end of the day, he's gonna have to take himself and take those steps that are necessary to get healthy, get good. If you don't, he's telling me he doesn't want to do coke. That's something you can work on. Don't do coke, dude. And it's easier said than done. I've never done it, but that's what you hear, that it's one of those addictive drugs. Again, not here preaching nothing. You do whatever is good for you. But what I was disappointed in is the portion of the story that had to do with the Muslim community, which kind of goes back to the early stage of this little story, where I was talking about, me and my family being in the Iran for 9 years. So I have firsthand experience of what it means to live under a Islamic law. It's not nice. It's not like, we take it for granted in Western society. We take it for granted. And I just want my immediate family, my mom and dad never practiced any religion or anything. When we came here to Canada, my new home, my home, I just kind of identified as a person who likes to believe in the Christ consciousness. And I've come to realize this and try to practice and live that sort of mentality as much as I can. Nobody's perfect. I don't know how it works. I don't know if, but if I were to because it's good to have role models, and if somebody throughout history is just kind of like an ideal figure for do good things, try to be nice to yourself, your neighbors, friends, basic stuff, just basic. One of the figures that we can all look at and be like, okay, decent fella. Whether you want to take it for historical facts or you want to look at it from a fictional aspect, doesn't matter. Point is that we need to have good role models. But what I wanted to just say out there is that we need the world, everybody. We all need to work together. But the Muslim community needs to step it up and show more love, man, to everybody. Sometimes I'll hear about it gets blown up I don't even want to talk about that aspect of it today, but let's just focus on what I think. Again, I don't know nothing, but I'm just saying you don't make it as a community very easy for people to want to gravitate towards you or even want to be a part of you. And this is coming from personal experience. There's a ton of great Muslim people out there who practice with, moderation, who practice with love, who practice with tolerance, who practice with respect, and who live a very, balanced and even lifestyle, if that makes any sense. But there are a lot of people in the Muslim community, especially in the Middle East, who've taken the word and have gone to the extreme end of things, which is why me and my family from early, I've never practiced anything regarding Islam, and this is just what I've experienced, you guys. I'm not amping it up. I'm not trying to belittle anybody else's experience, or I'm just saying the Muslim community, if you wanted to, from the three Abrahamic communities, if you were to look at them, the Jewish community, the Christian community, and the Muslim community, the least nice community towards the LGBTQ community is the Muslim community. Let's be honest. Let's take a look at ourselves in the mirror as a whole, everybody, and do a little bit of digging. Sorry about that, you guys, but that's what I'm trying to say, man. That's kind of odd, man. I kind of find that odd for countries who love a lot of same-sex kissing on the cheek, dude. Man, growing up in Iran, 9 years, dog, I remember, going to places and everybody, that's the thing, you meet random strangers and they grab you and they just, kiss you a couple of times on the cheeks. And in the Middle East, there's a lot of racism and, ethnic division within countries, within regions, and they don't want to talk about it, but that's just what it is. And, a thing that I realized early on was, they even, they want to be racist towards each other and, even outdo each other when it comes to, lame shit, how many kisses you exchange on the cheek. They'd be I remember hearing things the Arab population kisses twice, we must kiss 3 times to show them something. I don't know what the fuck they wanted to show, but it's I find it odd for communities that man, if they were tolerant, if the Muzzies in the Middle East were tolerant, it would actually be the greatest place you could think of in terms of for the LGBTQ community, because they like to divide the schools, separate the boys and the girls. So if you were gay and they were tolerant, but they're not, so don't go there. But point that I'm trying to make is, yeah, man, the community leaders, the Muslim families out there, y'all need to just step it up, especially if you're out here in the West doing that Western Canadian or American or European lifestyle. You need to get with the program, dude. That's why a lot of people leave, because of the intolerances, because of the dogmatic notions of how you should be living your life, and this is why I've had such a troubling time or a difficult time rather, during this whole period of the pandemic, because I love science, I love medicine, I love progress, I love technology, but because of the whole mandate issue, because of the whole dogmatic points of view, because of the division, because of ostracizing people for their choices or their ways of life. And yeah, a lot of things that got tied into each other today, but I wanted to share it with you guys. Thank you for listening. And I hope that's the thing, that I hope you take away a few messages. Maybe you guys are all good out there. Hopefully you guys are. But if anybody out there is, if you're coming from a background where you might not get all the support and the love and the community that you need, I just want you to know you're not alone. People love you out there. People want to make sure you're alive and breathing and are well and are taking care of yourself and others. That's basically it. And I think we need to, all of us, and this can be seen in other communities as well, but it's very, very much visible in the Muslim community. But I'm pretty sure the hardcore Christians and the hardcore Jewish people might be dealing with this kind of stuff as well, but probably not to the extent of the Islamic world. So that's what it is, man. You all need to just step it up. You all need to be open, because everybody knows this is the thing, man. We're living in a world of communication and less than 1 degree of separation, and also everything's being talked about, everything's being discussed. We're always trying to move forward and learn. So if we all want to be working together and living in a more peaceful manner, we should all just, it's enough of the, yeah, I want everybody to feel love, whether you're gay, whether you're bi, whether you're trans, whether you're, or it doesn't matter, or if you're white, if you're black, if you're Asian, if you're European, if you're whatever you are, if you're a human, we should just all love each other. And I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't, because like literally it's so easy to just love people. And at the same time, I'm saying all of this, but I just want to make sure that it's very clear, like, because I talk about a lot of things, and my whole purpose is to want to learn how to, like, joke about things. I want to joke about things that have been in my personal life and in other people's lives and society. And some things are not easy. Some things aren't easy, but we all need to collectively toughen up so that we don't just let jokes hurt our feelings. But at the same time, we should also soften down, rather, be a little bit more, empathetic towards one another, be a little bit more understanding of one another, and stop wanting people to live the way we want to live. Live and let live. Or live and let die. Whatever it may be. Point is that the world needs more love, especially after the whole global nonsense that we've been through, that we shouldn't be going out there and adding more negativity. So if you're out there in the Muzzy community doing Muzzy things, you need to tone it down with the homophobia. It's what it is. You need to just be cool, dog. I don't get it. I never got that even when I was a young. I never just. It made no sense. If it's not your personal life, why does it matter to you? So let's just get rid of these things. And that's the thing. Especially, that's the thing, man. Like, Western Muslims need to be a better example so that other Muslims can look at you perhaps as a positive example, as a way to fix things, not as another method of just spreading nonsense, mumbo jumbo. Enough of that. I'll wrap that around. Again, I hope that, I hope I was a friend to somebody that I met for a few minutes today. And I hope that, again, if you hear this video, if you see this video, I hope you guys are all safe and sound, are living in great communities, and have got the support that you need to be your best selves. But for whatever odd reason, if you've stumbled upon this channel, this show, if you will, I like to talk about different things, silly things, serious things. It's a so-so production, baby, right down in the middle. As per usual, I'll be back here again Wednesday, most likely, and definitely on Friday as well. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for all the love and support. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for all the love, man. Ladies, man, ladies, man. Love you guys. Love you all. I mean it. Thank you. And speak to you all very soon. Peace out.